In Hebrews chapter 1, specifically this verse has created a great deal of angst over the course of church history. Because if Christ was begotten, does that mean he came into being at some point? Does it mean that he was created by God? Is he somehow lesser than God? This would be the argument of what were called the Gnostics, that Jesus was somehow a lower created being. It's also the argument of modern day liberals that would see Christ as not fully divine, but rather came into existence. And actually, Mormons will use this text to demonstrate and to prove, as it were, through their understanding, that Jesus was created by Yahweh along with Satan, and likewise, we can rise to the same standards or the same levels of divinity as Christ if you try hard enough, as it were. So how do we understand, you are my son, today I have begotten you? First of all, there's a family relationship, a special familial relationship. But to understand this text, you must understand the psalm from which it is quoted, that coronation psalm. It is not a coming into existence, it's coming into a new reign, a new glory, or a new demonstration of that glory. The author is going to prove that Jesus is God, very God. But what he is saying, that I have begotten you, that I have given you a new reign, a new exercise of your glory, a new exercise of dominion. Now, we may be uncomfortable with that. Please let me walk this out with you. Jesus, the Son of God, always omnipotent, always fully glorious. And yet, but God entered into a new demonstration of that glory by becoming flesh. He entered into a new demonstration of his glory and power by proving himself on the cross. These are things that God had never done before. Now listen to me. Do not think that because God has come into a new experience that he somehow is more omniscient, more fully God. That would be a wrong way to view experience. He did not encounter anything new, but entered into a new context in which to demonstrate his glory. So God in eternity past demonstrated his glory among the Trinity by being fully God and content with one another. He demonstrated his glory in a fresh way by creating a world with people. He demonstrated his glory in another way through the Old Testament by being faithful to his people. And then he demonstrated his glory and initiated a new kind of reign where God became man, died on a cross, was exalted to the throne of God as a man. Never before has the universe been ruled by a flesh and blood, physical human being. But the Father has begotten his Son as flesh and blood so that right now, and this is so critical, right now, a living, breathing human being who is also fully God governs the universe.